Hey, what's good, guys? It's your boy G Marcus TV, back with a brand new video. Please like, comment, and subscribe. And we on Vlogmas day number 23. We have 2 more days left. So of course, as you guys can see from the title, I'll be doing a small recap on And Just Like That, episode number 4. And this episode is called Some of My Best Friends. It's not given the original Sex and the City. It just seems like they're really on a new chapter. I can see them really pushing Miranda to the more bisexual type of thing, which is cool. I have no problem with that. It's like, cause they're not really showing Steve like that. I realized I like the fact that they're introducing more black characters now, more Latino characters now. Everybody wakes up, everybody just starting their day, getting their coffee. So they showed Lisa, they showed her getting some breakfast with her daughters, getting the coffee. Her daughter speaks French, know how to actually speak French, so she ordered a croissant in French. So basically, Charlotte wanted to throw like a party for Lisa, basically to get a little closer to her, because she really is digging her as a friend, so she wants to get close. But in the whole episode, throughout the episode, like when Lisa's back is turned, she's basically just like nervous because of course she's white, they're black. She's kind of like, okay, well, I don't want to throw the party, I don't want to invite people and they're the only black people. I don't want them to feel uncomfortable. So she's going crazy trying to find out, alright, which black person I can find. She literally went to her neighbor, asked the neighbor couldn't make it. She was asking black people. You're just like, God. And the husband is basically like, yo, like, chill, like, it shouldn't be that damn serious. And she's like, no, I really like her, and I don't want her to feel uncomfortable with it just being white people. I want her to be around some of her people too. The day of the party, which is at Lisa's house, the husband and Charlotte get there, and they're nervous as hell. So they open the door, and there's nothing but black people. So they're nervous. It's awkward as hell. They go about the party and they're talking about art. They're having a good time. Like, it was actually cool. It was nothing crazy. It was a little awkward at the beginning, but it was cool as hell. They later on by themselves on the next day, they actually chill, they hang out together. They both had the same type of worries. Is she gonna be comfortable around all these black people? And of course, Charlotte, is she gonna be comfortable around a lot of white people? So it was really cool. I like how they played that part off. They didn't really go on about what happened with Miranda and Shay when Shay blowed the weed inside of her mouth. They didn't have another scene with them together. They didn't have no text messages, no talk on the phone, nothing. So it's just like they did that and they just left us hanging. Like there's nothing to go off of that. I guess they were just trying to tease us. So Miranda, she's home, and the kids, which is her son and his girlfriend, they're in the kitchen and they smell the marijuana on her. They smell the weed and she's just like, you know, trying to play it off, and they're like, no, you ain't gotta lie. And the son just like, yo, all the you give me and you smoke a weed, and she's just like, nah, you know, that's not the case. And they just like, yo, you don't gotta lie, especially marijuana is legal now, you can chill, like chill out. So see, later on she goes on like a little lunch date with the professor who is on IVF, who is actually gonna have one of those births where they have to inject a whole bunch of hormones in them. So it was actually an interesting, funny scene because they go out to eat and the reservations was up first of all because she booked reservations for the restaurant, but she's going back and forth with the hostess. They go back and forth and it turns out that she had the in San Francisco. That's where she made the reservations at. So they sit down, they eat. She asked Miranda what does she think about having children, how does she feel about the children. Which I found very interesting because Miranda was like, basically she, you know, she doesn't regret having the kid, but at the same time her son called her a because she threw his girlfriend out and forced him to do his homework. So I was like, damn, like that was actually interesting. She said it so regular. She didn't seem hurt, she didn't seem teary-eyed, nothing. I'm like, for real? It's like that? But she basically gave her as much advice as possible, saying that, you know, it's gonna be some hard times and stuff. Basically the typical, but they really bonded in that scene because of course she's going through the IVF. So Carrie, of course, she tries to make coffee and the coffee up. And so she gets tight, so she goes to her own neighborhood, goes to the deli that she used to go to. For all my diehard Sex and the City fans out there, you guys know she went to that deli a lot in the original series. She goes there, she talks to the guy, he's just like, oh, you don't come around no more, like, you know, I haven't seen you here in a while, how's marriage life? So she had to tell him, of course, Biggs recently just died, so he just gave her the coffee free, and he gave her a roll for free. Like, he gave her some comfort, which was really cool. So she decided to sell Mr. Biggs' apartment, which I'm like, damn, like, she moved fast. It might not even be a freaking month or two for this be dead and you about to sell this apartment? I was like, jeez. She hooked up with this foreign realtor. Like, she was really some fine chick, new fine chick that they got on the show. I was like, okay. So they hooked up. She's telling her like, yo, she got to basically change up Mr. Biggs' stuff, like to make it marketable, to make it sellable. She wasn't really feeling how the house looks, so Carrie was with it. Carrie just says, yo, do not touch my shoes. Because of course, as I mentioned before, Carrie is a big shoe lover. So they chilling, they bonding, they actually go to a spot together. But before they get to the spot, Carrie asks the girl for a cigarette. So of course, as you guys know, Carrie was a big chain smoker in the original series. So Carrie is smoking again, guys. Yep, she is smoking again. And I am disgusted. For you guys that know me, and for people who really know me, cigarettes, oh my God, I cannot with cigarettes. I can't take the smell, the look, ugh. So they bonding, they go to like an open house and they end up like having some drinks, they chilling, they talking about dating apps, and Carrie just gave her an applause like, yo, shout out to you for still putting yourself out there, because this girl was never married before and she seems like she wants to be with somebody, that she wants something, but she's just never had it before. And Carrie said, yo, I applaud you for still putting yourself out there. One of the things that f***ed me up there that Mr. Biggs is cremated. I'm like, what? Because his shit came in the mail and I'm just like, first of all, that shit came in the mail, it came in a box. I'm like, what? Cremated? I couldn't believe it. So she ended up putting all his, like a lot of his shit in her old place. So I'm just like, wow, it was kind of interesting to me. I'm like, what? Cremated? Comment down below, would you like to be buried or cremated? I don't know about that cremation. You never know, they can make technology one day where they can bring you back to life, but if you burn the f up, how they gonna really put that back together? So the episode just ends off with the realtor, the old school picture that Carrie and Mr. Biggs had together that was in a frame. She broke it by accident, so she's pissed off. Carrie's like really pissed, like, how the f did you break this? Like, and she's like, oh, it's not that serious, like I could just replace the glass, everything else is good. And Carrie's just going off. Like, Biggs touched that every single morning. Like, you cannot replace that, that's not replaceable. She gaslights the f out of Carrie, and she brings up the conversation they had early on where she was talking about how she put herself out there in date apps, and Carrie was just like, yeah, I like how you put yourself out there to this day. So she apologizes for it and says, I'm sorry, and she actually shares some of her food with her, and that's how the episode ends. They basically bond over food. I mean, the picture, it wasn't a big deal, but I'm just like, you ain't gonna gaslight me like that. But the episode was a good episode. Like, I actually liked the episode. First two was just money grabs. I don't give a f anyone says the first two was money grabs. The third one, they kind of seem like they're getting into it. But this one, I could say it was a solid episode. It kind of seems like they're making everybody have a friend. Randa has the professor as a friend now. That's going to be her bestie. Charlotte has Lisa as a friend. Now Carrie has Sema as a friend. So I'm just like, okay, like, I see where they're going with this. I'm really curious to know the direction they're going to take with this. Comment down below for all you people that watched the episode. Let me know what you guys think. And for all you people that did not watch the episode, tell me what from the review that you liked about the episode, what you thought about it from the review. The Charlotte thing, I'm really curious to know where it's going to go with her and Lisa. Carrie and this girl, I don't know. Like, it doesn't really seem too authentic, but let's see where they go with it. But get her back on the cigarettes, I ain't with that. Your boy has 2 more Vlogmas to go. You guys stay tuned. Make sure you guys hit that notification bell so you guys know when it comes on. I'm gonna try to get this to you guys as early as possible. So make sure you guys watch. Make sure you guys like, comment, and subscribe. Love you guys. It's your boy G Marcus TV signing off.
Got it. That's a wrap.